It was a quiet afternoon in the art world. A little too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your stationery tremble. Like it knows something sketchy is about to go down. Yeah, real sketchy. I had a case on my hands. A big one. The toughest case of them all. The burp? Fruit. Innocent looking, but it had its secrets. And I was here to draw them out.
Do not worry if you are a beginner. Remember, with practice, you'll become perfect. Now that we have our still life set up, it's time to shift our focus onto our paper. You are ready to start creating, but first, take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And remember that we are here to have fun too. Alright, the first thing you need to do is understand your composition. This is the area in space. And no, I'm not talking about chilling in outer space with the stars and the planets. Oh, that would be very, very cool. I mean foreground, background, and middle ground. Composition is how you place your objects within your artwork. Think of it as a way of arranging the story you want to tell on your canvas. The foreground being closest to you, middle ground in between, and the background which is furthest away. These layers create depth and give your drawing life. Observe your still life arrangement and take note on what is closest, in between, and furthest from you. Try to even flatten your arrangement, using your eyes and imagination, of course.
I started with the basics, outlining the usual suspects: a banana, an orange, a pineapple, an apple. What did it mean? I need to know. Very sketchy. These fruits weren't just what they seemed.
We begin the sketching. We start by lightly drawing an outline of your composition. Break down what you see into basic shapes: squares, circles, trapeziums, any shape really. This will help you build a blueprint. Keep your proportions in mind, meaning pay attention to how the sizes of objects relate to one another. For example, is that apple smaller than the banana that sits beside it? The key here is balance and scale. It's okay if it looks rough at first. These shapes are just guides. They'll help you figure out where everything goes before diving into details. Once you are happy with these basic shapes, start adding details, but lightly. Don't press too hard on your pencil so it's easier to erase any mistakes. Details will make your objects more recognizable, so take your time and refine them bit by bit. Remember that all great artists are patient. As you continue, don't be afraid or shy to really get in there and add more and more details. Add character to your still life. These details are what makes the difference between a flat sketch and a lively composition. When you're satisfied with the basic structure, start darkening your lines. Here's where you start giving your drawing definition. Apply more pressure to your pencil and enhance those outlines. This contrast will help your objects pop right off the page. At this point, focus on refining proportions and making adjustments. Step back and look at your entire piece. Are the objects placed how you imagined? Is anything out of proportion? This is the time where you make small tweaks. Use your eraser and ensure you have everything in alignment. Next, lightly sketch where your shadows will fall in relation to your light source. Observe your still life closely. Where does the light hit? Where does the shadow fall? Map these out with light guidelines. Shadows are essential for adding depth and realism. Finally, erase all your rough guidelines. Use your eraser to remove any unnecessary lines that might distract you from the final image. By now, your drawing should have a clear outline, depth, and refined details to bring it to life. Next week, we are going to add value to these outlines by using the smudging technique, so be sure to tune in then. But until then, I'll see you next time. Good-day!
I had a hunch working with fruit was not going to be easy. It's a marathon of lines, shapes, and tones. In the end, the case was cracked wide open. My sketch wasn't perfect. No sketch ever is. But that's the beauty of it. Art isn't about perfection. It's about letting sketchiness take you where you need to go. From me to you, FNAT.